Hello and welcome to this very special collector's edition of Talking About Rock. I'm Rob Edwards in Buffalo. So we decided that we would change it up a little bit. Each week we usually bring you some different bands from around either Buffalo or Nashville or different areas. But for this show, we wanted to concentrate on rock collectors, rock collectibles. So we have a couple different guests that we'll be bringing on the show for you. Our first guest is from Buffalo, New York. He's a friend of the show. We have with us Joe Palumbo. He's a collector, photographer, drummer, and he also has a side gig we'll also chat about also. Joe, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, Bob.
Sure, man. Great. So you were originally a drummer and you started collecting and you started photography. So tell us a little bit about your collection.
Well, I started collecting, when I was younger, but this last year I had a very big uptick in shooting a lot of bands. So I was able to get like the Appice Brothers. I have their autograph, which that was a great show. I have Music is Art I go to every year. These are full of local performers. There's like KISS this, Robbie from the Goo Goo Dolls has signed this bass, signs both my posters every year. I got a horror collection. I do everything. I just collect what I can.
Awesome. Excellent. Yeah. And that's how we originally ran into each other. I can't remember which show we first met at, but then after that, we would kind of keep seeing each other around the circuit there at different shows, which was really cool. Yeah. I remember the Appice Brothers show. That was a great show. Jimmy Crean, I think, invited you to come out to that show.
Yeah. Jimmy Crean. He's a good guy.
Yeah, and the Appice Brothers were amazing, and they were just so personable. I mean, right there at the booth with their fans, signing stuff, talking to people. That was just so awesome. I thought you don't see a lot of that, and especially with the COVID thing going on. I know it's really scary for a lot of artists to be doing that, but I thought that was really cool for them to take the time to do that and talk to people and take pictures and stuff. That was awesome.
I've listened to like everything from Black Sabbath and Dio and those early bands that those guys played, and I listened to those my whole life. They were half my inspiration for even playing the drums. And my father was a drummer as well, and we just had that connection. And my dad, I know they were kind of like big things for my dad too, so I got to bring him to that. And he really enjoyed himself. My son enjoyed himself. Those guys were great.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely living legends, no doubt about it. You know what I mean? They've been through so many different bands. So many other drummers have modeled themselves after them, always list them as influences, definitely. So Tell us a little bit about some of your stuff you got from Robbie Takak from the Goo Goo Dolls back there.
Yeah, he signs my Music is Art posters. He's always the first. I try to get him to be the first one to sign it before anybody else. He's usually the very first one. I've been lucky enough to snag a couple of pics, and when I get pics, I'll tape them right next to their name. So I got a pic from Robbie in there, and I got a couple of pics from like KISS this. Those guys are great. You've seen them.
Yeah, seen them quite a few times. Yeah.
This was just our past year. Same thing. Robbie signed that. He signed this bass guitar for my wife. We got a bunch of stuff. Album, their latest album, Miracle Pill. That's signed on the back.
Awesome. Excellent. Yeah. And for those of the people that are our viewers that don't know, the Music is Art thing is a annual thing that we have in Buffalo. Robbie Takak organized it. He's got a couple different organizations going on, helping funding it. But he gives the stages to all kinds of local music, all kinds of local acts. And I think it's a whole weekend deal, right?
What it is, it's just like a really long day. So it's like when you work it, it's almost a 15-hour day. Some people are setting up the night before, but it's an all-day festival. All the proceeds go to Music is Art. And what they do is they try to put instruments into the hands of kids who come from homes where they can't afford it. So, if somebody wants to play violin, their family can't put up the cash, you could reach out to them and you can actually put up an instrument in that child's hands.
That's excellent. Yeah, that's so great. Giving back to the community, doing that. And not only does he have all different styles of music there, he has rap, he has rock, he has, hardcore, whatever. Not only music, but he also has art. Since the title, Music is Art, he has all different type of artists displaying their stuff. Some of them are actually working and painting, on their canvases as you're there doing, their live version of art, if you will. So I thought that was pretty amazing. It was my first chance going there last summer to see this. And it was such a cool thing to see, all this come together, all these different artists, all these different bands, that you wouldn't normally see, you know what I mean? You would have to travel all around Buffalo to check this stuff out, and having it in one area, I thought was such a cool thing for him to do,
Yeah, there's a lot of different performers. You got circus clowns and like Green Jelly. I don't know if you remember that band from the early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
They almost show up every year. They're always there. Yeah, like you said, there's people painting, there's people that are making crafts at home, and they show up with like some of these people you can tell are like doing this daily. And so when they show up, they have a very complete full booth of things to sell. It's incredible what they're able to bring into that place, really. And I love the new Ferris wheel and everything they got down there now too. So that's going to be a new cool feature this year.
Yeah. It was definitely, like I said, it was my first time. It was really neat seeing all this different stuff and I tried to check out as much as I could. I was there to see a couple different bands and to see KISS this and some other stuff, and but it was so cool, all the artistic stuff. It was just, definitely worth checking out for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about some of your other projects you have going on too. You're also, you talked about a little bit, you're a professional photographer and you're taking photos for bands, and I think you do videos and things like that, right? Tell us some about that.
Yeah, so I own Niagara River Pictures. I do pictures, photography. I do videography. So if somebody needs a music video done, or a wedding, a party, what have you, I come in with my nice size camera here. There's that.
Beautiful rig, yeah.
Yeah, I record your event. Again, I do a lot of bands. Did a couple of haunted houses last year. I got some really cool photos out of that. I got to meet Willie Nile. Willie Nile's another big name. He's played with Springsteen and U2 and some of the big names. So that camera has opened some doors for me. I've got to meet a lot of people because of it. So yeah, if anybody ever needs me for any kind of photography services, or you need a rock video or a hip hop video, it doesn't matter. And I shoot so many different styles of film that there's nothing I can't really. I've done a few for KISS this, and I've done some for some rap guys, and you know what I mean? So I've been across the board a little bit as far as who I'm shooting videos for, taking pictures for. I stay with more of the artsy type of photography. I think it looks really good. Some of that stuff really speaks to me, like real weird angles and getting the blurred out photos where something is really clear up close and then everything else is blurred out. Like I like doing stuff like that. So
yeah, I love the stuff you do. You're definitely, getting a different take on things. It's, like you said, a different angle, a different perspective than you would normally see. You're adventurous. You're trying to do different things and push the envelope a little bit. I really like that. It definitely shows in what you're doing. Definitely. It's very cool. Very cool. And you mentioned the horror thing too. So you were out at Everhaunt and you got to meet some folks out at Everhaunt too, right? When you're out there taking some photos for that, this past Halloween, right?
Yeah, this past October, I did work for Everhaunt, and I also did work for Niagara Nightmares. Everhaunt this year had 4 big stars come through every weekend. There was one day where there was a star there. Robbie did the first one, so he got turned into a zombie. There was Robbie Zombie, and he popped out of the wall. Ari Lehman from First Jason Official, he's actually going to be in town. You can see and meet the first Jason Voorhees of Friday the 13th. He'll be in town on March 23rd, and I believe its doors open at 7:00 at Stamps in Tonawanda. He's a super cool guy. He'll come with a bunch of swag and stuff like that, like Jason masks. You can go get a signed Jason mask from him. He'll take a photo with you. He's a really, really, really nice guy. I got to meet Alex Vincent, who is from the Child's Play series, and he's in the new Chucky series on Sci-Fi. Again, super pleasant guy, very personable. I'll tell you my trick when I'm done here. Last but not least was John Duggan. He played Grandpa Sawyer on Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974, and I think there was another one too. But he was another really personable guy. I've noticed that when I meet these stars, they immediately read off of me that I'm not easily starstruck, and I'm not going to ask them about their day. I'm not going to ask them about all the projects they've been on. You can only imagine that they're asked that so many times throughout the day. So the last thing I do is talk about their work with them, and they love that. Like, so if you ever meet somebody super famous, try not to fangirl them, and you know what I mean? And they might actually turn you into a friend. Like, all these guys follow me, I follow them on social media and stuff, and I feel like I've made some friends, and it's wild to know that I've made those kinds of high-end friends. I also know Dig Fish, who is from the Rob Zombie's Halloween movie. He played a young Michael Myers as a child. It was the one where it's a little blonde kid playing Michael Myers. They lock him up in a psych ward, and you know, the kid's grown now. I know him too, so I got some autograph stuff from him and autograph stuff from all the guys at Everhunt. So yeah, I got quite a horror collection going on too, to say the least.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I would agree with you. I'd echo the same. When I've met different stars at different venues or different events and stuff like that, you know, it's best to just play it laid back. You know, like you said, they have people constantly, you know, wanting their autograph, taking their picture, whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you just got to be a little more laid back, and then they're more apt to, you know, chat with you a couple minutes, you know, or if they have a moment to take a photo or something like that. But yeah, just be a little more laid back. Like you said, their schedule is, you know, I got this, and that to do. So they're usually kind of busy, and yeah, giving them kind of a break. I'm sure they all appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So your other project, you have another thing going on besides all this other stuff.
Yes, I do.
So you also do, like, what do you call it? Is it like a smash house, or what is actually we call it?
So I own Smash Relief headquarters. We were the first mobile rage room in Western New York. We were the first rage room in Western New York, and then I was the first one to take it mobile. I have a 24-foot box truck. When it's on the road, you can't miss it. It's tagged right on the side, Smash Relief headquarters. You get into the back of my truck, you wear some safety gear. I give you a baseball bat or a crowbar or something along those lines, and I gave you a whole bunch of glass, and I let you break everything in the room.
Awesome. And it's a mobile one, so you're going to them or going to different events. That's a great idea. That's fantastic. But I'm sure you also have a regular headquarters where people can go to the main building, right, and do that as well, or is it just the mobile?
It's just the mobile right now. I did have a main building for a short time. Didn't work out with the building owner, and just having a building has left a sour taste in my mouth. So I just stick to the mobile unit and bringing it to the people, or bringing it to a certain area or a private party. I did a private party in Grand Island 2 years ago before the pandemic, and there had to be 60 people there, you know what I mean? And I parked it with water, and it was a really nice day. I got an air conditioner running in there, so it's not, over hot.
Right.
In the winter, I'm still working on getting some heat. If I can get, my next step is to get it heated up, and if I can do that by next winter, I'll run through the winter too.
That's a great idea for sure. I don't think anybody is doing that, let alone anybody's not doing that in this area. But I don't think anybody's doing a mobile thing at all. I think that's such an original idea, and that's so neat. I'm sure you get, like you said, you get private events, and you probably get other events that they're asking you, to bring it there and stuff like that. I hope I see it at the Music is Art thing. That would be a cool thing to have there too. If you could do that, that would be neat.
We've been at Music is Art. We'll hopefully be there again this year. We have brought it to some different musical events. So with it being mobile, I can take it wherever. I can take it to the outside of, say, Showplace Theater or the Mohawk. Mohawk Place is actually one of our sponsors. Great little club downtown. Great sound. They got a great sound guy down there. His name's Andy. I can park that truck anywhere. That's the bonus about it all. I can bring that truck to the people. They don't have to worry about getting to me, and it works out. I'm going to start running different areas. Like one day I'm going to be in Amherst, another day I'll be in Tonawanda, another day I'll be in West Seneca. That way I can service everybody, and then I'll just rotate it like a clock. Every week I'll do the same thing every week. So everybody in Tonawanda is going to know, I'm there on Tuesday. Every Tuesday I'll be there, something like that. So
right.
unless there's a private event, and then I'll be at the private event.
You are such a busy guy, man. You got so much going on. You know, you got your photography going on. You got your mobile smash unit going on. That is so cool. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, but so people want you for photography, you know, how should they get a hold of you? Should they reach out to you on Facebook or should they email you? What should they do?
Yeah, they can do both. I can be found at Niagara River Pictures on Facebook. That's Niagara River Pictures at Gmail. And then my smash truck is Smash Relief Headquarters. It's actually Smash Relief HQ at Gmail and Smash Relief Headquarters on Facebook. Yeah, and that's how you find me for those two things.
Okay, so people, yeah, if you want to get a hold of Joe, you know, get a hold of him that way. I'm sure his schedule usually fills up as the summer starts to near and things are different happen. There's different shows that are going to be coming up around here this summer. We got Firehouse coming up. We got Slaughter coming up. We got Choir Riot coming up. You know, I think all these acts are also being opened, you know, by Jim Crean's Hair Nation. You guys will see all them. And of course, we have the big stadium tour coming through here. And once again, Jim Crean's Hair Nation band is doing a little tailgate party before the show for that. So I hope folks will check that out. But Joe, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Love your collection, man. Love you, what you got going on. You know, that's excellent. You know, wish you luck with the photography. And I love the Smash House idea, man. That's so cool. That's so unique.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe we'll have to talk with you again when we get closer to Halloween and we do start doing monster collector stuff. We're thinking about having a Halloween thing where we do monster memorabilia or you know, stuff like that. So maybe we'll bring you back for that if you want to chat again with us. That would be cool.
Yeah, man, I'm in. You just let me know when you're ready. I'm always ready for you.
Excellent. We really appreciate it. Well, Joe, thank you so much for spending some time with us today, man. Have a great night.
Thanks, man. You too.
Okay, welcome back to the special collector's edition of Talking About Rock. We have our next collector here with us from St. Louis. He's going to show us his Ozzy collection. We have Mark Bult with us. Mark, how you doing?
Doing well.
Awesome. So you've been collecting rock or Ozzy stuff for a while, or tell us a little about that.
I've been collecting Ozzy stuff for 30 plus years, I guess.
Awesome, excellent. So you did it from when he was in Sabbath and all the way up to the solo career and everything, huh?
I got into Ozzy around 82 or 83. I guess it was 82 when a friend of mine, Dave White, and if any of your viewers are Blabbermouth comments readers, you may recognize the name Dave White. Yes, that Dave White introduced me to Ozzy by playing Flying High Again for me on a cassette tape. And I was enthralled. And I was a rock fan, but I didn't really know anything about heavy metal at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my intro. And I wanted to consume everything I could possibly learn, gather, see, experience about Ozzy and Randy Rhoads, because man, he played Flying High Again over and over again on a loop for like an hour and a half. And we just listened to that song over and over again. And all I could think is, who is this guitarist?
Yeah, and just an amazing legend that we lost too fast. You know, definitely when you heard those two solo albums that came out, that restarted Ozzy's career. He was like down in the dumps, you know, in a hotel saying, you know, what am I going to do? You know, and then he was lucky enough to find Randy, and it was like reborn, you know?
Yeah. Those first two albums, of course, are iconic. And for a lot of collectors, especially if you started in that era and became a fan in that era, you collect a lot of stuff from that era, and I'm no different.
Definitely.
So, buttons, records, you know, memorabilia of all types, ads, posters, tour books, t-shirts, etc.
Excellent. Well, I see some stuff behind you there. Give us a little sneak peek of what you got going on there.
Yeah. So if I tilt the camera down, you can see my vinyl collection. The trick here is that all of this is Ozzy and Sabbath vinyl. The rest of my vinyl is next to me out of video frame. So this is the vinyl collection. Of the many things that I collect, vinyl is one of the bigger categories. So it spans everything from all the solo records and singles through picture discs, things that Ozzy appeared on for other artists, all the way through bootleg live recordings, radio promos, Black Sabbath albums, of course, featuring Ozzy, and Black Sabbath bootlegs.
Cool. I remember for me when I was growing up listening to that music, the big thing was the Mr. Crowley picture disc that came out, right? That was so cool with You Said It All track that they didn't include on Blizzard of Oz. That was supposed to make it, but that never did. But
Right.
when that was a very cool picture disc, I thought, and I still have my copy of that, and actually a friend's copy, and it was
Right.
and they've you have a little different version of it. There was different pressings and different releases. I'm not sure where you probably know where that one comes from. Do you
This
know
is
where
the Dutch 12-inch, which was not a picture disc. And yeah, that one you're talking about is the most famous and widely distributed picture disc of Ozzy, but there are a number of others, some of them quite rare. In fact, there's variations of that pressing that you're talking about, the live Mr. Crowley pressing, that are really rare and hard to find.
Okay, do you know what would clue somebody in if they have a rare one by any chance, or what they would look for, or is there, you really can't tell? Or
Yeah, there was one pressing, I don't even know in what quantities it was pressed, but it had to have been a very limited run. It was for the radio station KMOV, I think.
okay,
So it has the radio station's logo on the back instead
Okay.
of a picture of Ozzy.
so that's the way you would know. Yeah, that's the way you would know.
Hard to find.
Right. Yeah. I haven't seen that myself at all, but yeah. So anybody else, any of our listeners, if you have that on the back of your Mr. Crowley, you have a very limited one. Have you also moved into the different vinyl? Because now they have like the colored vinyl and the real thick, like heavy duty, vinyl that they're coming out in different reprints. Have you been getting into that as well?
Yeah, as a sort of a completist, like many collectors are, I try to collect each edition I can. And that could include the modern variations like, thicker 180 gram pressings or colored vinyl.
Right.
So a good indication of that is these two recent acquisitions, a red and black Best Buy only version of Blizzard of Oz, and a what do they call it here? Smoke vinyl edition, Smoke and Splatters edition that was only available, I think, in Germany, I want to say.
So I have a question.
To give you an idea of the different variations that some collectors do. Like the UK edition versus the US edition has different artwork for Blizzard of Oz.
Right.
And then, of course, there are various pressings through the year. So sometimes you seek those out to find, again, to be a completist, to find those. And then, of course, you have the occasional rare find with an Ozzy signature or one of the other band members.
Oh, that's great. That's excellent. Yeah.
And then this is signed by Lee Kerslake, of course, the
Oh,
drummer on the first two albums.
that we just lost, I believe, recently. Yeah.
Sadly, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent. So you seem to be a heavy vinyl collector. I'm just getting back into it myself a little bit. So with the high grade vinyl, can you really tell the difference as far as the music quality, or is it just a better product overall?
You can definitely tell the difference on some pressings versus others. I'm not going to say that I can necessarily hear a big difference on 180 gram pressing versus a traditional one that you bought 30 years ago. I think it matters if you're an audiophile,
Right.
You've got super high end equipment and amazing headphones or speakers. But that is not me, sadly. I do not invest tens of thousands of dollars in my audio equipment.
But you have such an awesome album collection there. That's really cool. Do you have any other stuff too that you collect, or is it just pretty much vinyl? Or
I do, but I wanted to show you these three pieces of vinyl here because they're kind of fun. And
Okay.
Weird pressings that you get in different countries. So a lot of the early Korean pressings were bootlegs and very low quality printings, especially on the covers. So for example, this is just almost like a photocopy version.
right. I was going to say that looks like something that would be selling on the street, right?
Yeah. And then this is a Russian version Also, probably not a legitimate version. That's probably dates from the 80s. And then this is another Korean edition. When they were censoring a lot of albums, they would censor both the cover and the material. So in this one, there's only 6 songs instead of 8 on the album itself.
So did they cut Flying High again off of there probably or something like that?
No, they kept Flying High again.
Oh, did they? You would think they would have cut that one for sure for its, drug overtones and things like that. But
yeah,
very, very cool. Very cool. All right.
So I have a few other things you asked about what else I collect. So I collect prints and posters and buttons and things. So I had a few other things laid out here. I wanted to show you some of the more interesting and rare things. This is a button, a pin. You can see the badge pin on the back here, maybe.
Yep.
From the Blizzard of Oz days, when the logo was actually Blizzard of Oz. And this is a 3-dimensional pin, so these don't survive. They get broken really easily. They're just metal, and the head falls off of these. So to find these as intact is fairly rare.
How much are those usually going for? Just that little pin? It seems like a hard to find item, right?
I don't remember because I bought this one a long time ago, and I haven't seen another intact one in years. I've only seen broken ones. I never remember the prices of these things because if I want to forget it.
Don't want to think about it. I don't blame you. I used to collect some other stuff myself, and I had boxes and boxes and stuff. Yeah.
So here's a few of the tour passes and things that I've collected over the years. You can get a lot of these, but the rarer, older ones, like from the first couple of tours that are legitimate, real crack and peel with the old ads on the back, those are a little harder to find, and finding them in nice condition is a great thing. Finding them in used condition, like this was actually used by a person on the tour, is also fun because you'll see things like, the authorizing initials or signature or other notes sometimes written on them.
Right. And I know they started actually numbering them in in at certain different events. Some friends of mine works for different crews, and they number them so they can always kind of trace it back if they had to, if they lost it, because they had to pay for a new one if they lost it.
And I wanted to point out a fun little fact about these guys, which show up on many Ozzy items over the years since the 90s around Ozfest time. And a little known fact is that Ozzy drew these original characters. So whenever you find a button or something with those on them, you have an Ozzy reproduction original.
Oh, that I did not know. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I also collect laminates and ticket stubs. I don't know how well you could see these. This one's from 1984, and I've got this one from 1980. So this would have been a Randy show in England. Those are harder to find. Here's a fun one from when Ozzy headlined Donington in '86.
Oh, yeah. Remember that? Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
And then the occasional weird item like a lunchbox.
Right. Something a little bit different.
Park at the Moon lunchbox.
Of course you do. If you're an Ozzy collector, you should definitely have some stuff like that. Yeah. I just got just for Christmas, I got the 3D Diary of a Madman replica display where he's like reaching out and stuff. My son picked me up that for Christmas, and I was like, oh, that's probably the coolest Ozzy thing I have. What do you have? Do you have something that's really special to you, or that was hard to acquire? Or
I do. So this here is, I have many Ozzy signed items, but this one is special to me because it's the one that I got signed when I met him in LA back in 90 or 91. So I anticipating that I might run across him at a music industry convention that I was attending and that he was performing at and appearing on a panel at, I blew up a very large photo and took it with me. And sure enough, he and Sharon were leaving the hotel where the convention center was. And the timing just worked out perfectly that me and a couple of my friends were walking out of the hotel door at exactly the same time, right behind them.
Oh, wow. And they weren't surrounded by like security. They didn't have a ton of people around them.
Surrounded by anybody, just him and Sharon. And it was like no big entourage or anything. He was the kindest, quietest, most surprisingly gentle, nice, affable guy. And just said, oh yeah, I'd be happy to sign something for you and pose for a picture. And so I got him to I pulled this out of my briefcase, which I was actually carrying a briefcase. Imagine that. And I pulled this out of my briefcase, and he took one look at the picture, and he said, "Stoned," and then he scrawled his signature on his own cheek, which was fun.
That's excellent, man. That is great. Yeah, I don't think you would able to get like in 100 yards of the guy now with the security that he has around him, and being that he's so much older now and stuff, and Sharon has kind of got control of the deal there. So that would definitely be something I would have like framed up somewhere or something. That is very, very cool.
When he did a book tour a few years back, I guess it was almost 10 years ago now, for one of the couple books that he put out, he came to San Francisco where I used to live. And my wife and I had a relatively newborn child. And the three of us went to the book signing. And I had purchased an Ozzy onesie for my toddler.
Very cool.
And so I went up to get my book signed, and Ozzy, he's doing hundreds of these signatures, and the line is out the door and 3 blocks down the street. And so he's not paying attention to everybody's face. He's not saying hi to every single person. He's looking down, signing and going, "Hi," and here you go. And the people with him said, "Ozzy, you got to look at this." And he looks up, and he got the biggest smile seeing the little kid with the Ozzy onesie on my shoulder. And so that was fun. My son Oliver got Ozzy to smile.
Oh, that is excellent story, man. That's excellent story. Yeah, I've been such a big fan of his. I think when I heard, like you said, I heard stuff from Blizzard come out, and and I begged my parents to buy me the 2 albums because they came out at the same time. Actually, I had them on 8-track back in the day. Yeah. And then after that, it was just like, okay, let's see what else had happened before this. And then a friend of mine played me Iron Man from Black Sabbath, and I was like, holy crap, what is this? And I just like you. When I get interested in something, I wanted to know as much as I could about about his career, what he had done, how his time in Sabbath was, and then just finding Randy, and it was just like the perfect situation for him, and he's just gone on to luckily find amazing guitar players, to keep moving forward, keep doing different things, I would always look forward to the next Ozzy album that was coming out. It was going to be neat. It was going to be cool. It was going to be something worth buying when you're a kid and you're spending your, back then it was like $8 or $10 to buy an album or whatever, but it was like worth spending it if it was an Ozzy album,
Yeah.
But
the fact that even back then, when you discover an artist and he has another 10 plus years of back catalog with another band to discover even further, that was some of the most exciting part for me. I mean, I spent my high school years sort of discovering Black Sabbath because I'd become an Ozzy fan, and then I'm diving deeper and deeper into his past.
Right.
And learning all about this, these godfathers of metal and their blues background and the amazing songs that they wrote in the 70s.
Yeah, I remember in high school, and it was the big kind of debate time when Black Sabbath released their Live Evil album. Yeah. And Ozzy was getting ready to release his project. It was kind of like a back and forth thing going on between, Black Sabbath and Ozzy, who are you going to follow? What's going to happen? Right. Are you in the Ronnie James Dio camp, or are you in Ozzy? And it was, yeah. That album I played the heck out of. Speaking, that's what I'm wearing right now. My Ozzy Speak of the Devil shirt. I picked
dressed appropriate.
Yeah, I dress. Usually, I don't wear any of the band T-shirts for any of our interviews. I just try to dress a little bit. But this is definitely appropriate. And yeah, for me being such a big fan, it's just like you got some amazing stuff there, man. You got some great stories. Having his autograph, meeting the guy too. Like in every interview I've seen with him, he's exactly like you described. He's very, very calm, very personable. You know what I mean? I looked back to a really, really early interview that he did when he first started touring, and they were living on the bus the whole time for the first 2 albums, him and Sharon, right? But I seen the interview where he did Letterman, and he was still a little crazy, and he was still probably drinking in there. But now when you see stuff with him, he's just always, very calm, very grateful. I saw one episode of something, and they dug out like the original tracks that they did for Blizzard, the original master tracks, and he was re-listening to the solos by Randy and stuff like that. And it was just, it was like for us, when we listen to the music, it brings us back in time. And I'm sure it does the same for him. You know, he remembers being in the studio and going through that stuff, and, you know, the amazing lyrics that Bob Daisley came up with on this stuff. I thought it was just great stuff. It was just the perfect storm at that time. You know what I mean? I didn't know how he was going to survive without Randy. I really didn't. It was amazing when he got Brad Gillis to jump in and do stuff, you know, and then be on Speak of the Devil and stuff. And that was like my favorite live album for the longest time, you know?
Yeah, that reminds me, I have to dig out my Brad Gillis signature and figure out where I've got that stored.
Yeah, he's starting to tour with Night Ranger again. They're starting to do shows, you know. Different bands, all these bands are starting to come back because of the streaming thing, right? Everything's, you know, streaming now, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff, you know. People don't release new products and stuff like that unless, like, you're a collector buying stuff like that, like yourself, or I still try to pick up stuff here and there. But unfortunately, they have to just tour now. That's pretty much it. I was lucky enough to catch him a couple times myself. I caught Ozzy on. I didn't catch him on Diary of a Madman, which I'm so ticked off about. He played here in Buffalo for a show for that. But I did catch him in Rochester when he was at Bark of the Moon, and Metallica opened the show, and that was just a great double bill. It was amazing. You know, Ozzy was just so kind, energetic. You know, he was shaking, you know, everybody's hand in the front row. I got to shake his hand, so I was like, oh, being a teenage kid, it's like you can't ask for more than that at that time, right. You know. So
that tour was actually not only my first Ozzy show, that was my first concert, and it was impressive.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely a great show. You know, actually, I'm sorry, Bark at the Moon. I think Motley Crue opened for Bark at the Moon. Then I saw him on Ultimate Sin, and that's when Metallica opened for him for Ultimate Sin. I saw him in Rochester with Cliff before Cliff passed from Metallica.
Yeah.
So, but such great shows back then, man. You have an awesome collection, man. You have some really hard to find stuff. I've never seen the pins like that. That's so cool. Definitely, man. I really appreciate you sharing all that with us. And besides a collector here, you do some other stuff also, right? You're a graphic designer also?
I'm a graphic designer. I've been doing that for 35 years. I do logos and websites and everything under the sun for companies and organizations large and small here in St. Louis and all around the world. But I do want to give a shout out to our Ozzy Collectors group on Facebook. Maybe where you came across us, I'm not sure, but we have a large group of other collectors who Ozzy is their thing, and we compare notes. We you know, if we've got something and we see it on eBay and we don't need another copy, we pass it along to the group. We show off our various things. We salivate over each other's amazing finds.
Amazing, right?
When we want to wring their necks and go, how did you find that bootleg?
Right. Yeah, I believe that's where I dig. I'm part of a couple different collectors groups on Facebook, you know, checking out all the different stuff because I love that. I didn't keep a lot of the memorabilia and stuff when I was younger, you know, and I really should have. I'm just starting to get it back now. I'm getting a pick collection going from a lot of different bands now and stuff like that, and seeing more shows, getting some autographs here and there, and meeting some folks. You know, we're lucky to meet Tim Ripper Owens and Billy Sheehan and a couple of other folks. So it's been pretty cool for us on our show so far. We've been doing great, but we thought we'd mix it up and we do a collector show and show people some of this stuff. Man, you got some great stuff. So if people want to, you know, get a hold of you, or they want to, you know, do websites or designing, is there somewhere they should get a hold of you?
Yeah, I guess they can look at markbult.com, markbult.com, and everything's available off of that site. And if they want to join the group, either as a participant to show off any of their collectibles, or just to lurk and look at the amazing history of all the Ozzy things out there in the world, they could just search for Ozzy Collectors on Facebook. It's a group.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Mark. We really appreciate you sharing your collection with us and you know, sharing your time.
You bet.
You know, if you get some more unique stuff, you know, I hope to see it, you know, post it in the group or check it out, man. You got some great stuff. Thank you so much for being with us, man. Hello, TBR fans. Welcome to this last portion of Talk About Rock's Collectors episode. Today we have probably the most influential band for me that I grew up listening to and watching, kind of really got me into rock and roll. And the guys weren't just, rock musicians back then. They were just like superheroes, having their own comic book and everything. So we're so happy to have with us a great KISS collector here from Florida. Here we have with us George Navarro. George, how's it going today, man?
Doing good yourself.
Good. So you got a ton of goodies back there to kind of share with us. Can you tell us how you got into your collecting and maybe show us some of your stuff there?
Yeah, I started collecting when I was about 12 years old. When KISS, like I said, when KISS got back together around 95, 96, it just blew my mind. Like I said, because I was a young kid, I was like 12, 13. So my 70s was that era, when the Spencer's era, when it came in. So it just when they got back together, when that population boom, when they go to the malls and the stores with all the KISS merch and everything else, I just I gotta have this stuff.
Yeah, that was a big deal the first time they got back together and put the makeup back. I actually still have my tour shirt from 95, 96 tour when they originally got back together. That was one of the first shows I went back to. I got to see him in the 70s. I was lucky.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I remember that was a huge deal,
Yeah, because like I said, you back then, like I said, you had the mall. There was no internet. So
Right.
like I said, the malls and everything else, you go to stores and KISS was everywhere. You go to any bookstore and everything else. So KISS was in different music stores and not music stores. They were just everywhere you go. There was always a KISS section. So back then I didn't have that much money. So you see all this stuff and couldn't afford it. So down the road, a couple years later on, when money started giving around, grab a little stuff here and there. And then now that things are a little bit better, I could afford some of this stuff.
Right. So show us a couple of your cool prized items you have there. I'm sure you have like one or two that are very special to you, or maybe even that folks haven't seen before. There's a lot of.
Here's something really cool. Gene Simmons Destroyer boot.
Yeah, I've always loved those. I think they make them in slippers now and stuff, right?
Yeah,
you can get the small ones. Yeah, that's a full length. That's awesome.
This is from the fun costumes like that. So I got this one here. I got a really cool action figure with that actually spits out Gene blood.
Oh, nice. Yeah. They probably don't have too many of those that spit out the blood. Yeah, that's awesome.
Big action figure, 12-inch one too. So it's really cool. And like I said, I love random KISS items. That's like my favorite thing. A lot of KISS collectors don't. They like to keep in the common stuff like in the 70s. But like I said, I was in the 70s. My 70s is 96 on. So a lot of my collection is pretty recent.
Yeah,
so I keep it pretty much with a lot of stuff from the Spencer's era going into what's coming in now. So like I said, and usually now it's a lot of random stuff and common stuff, but like random stuff like this, a KISS bowling ball.
Oh yeah, that's neat. I've seen that once before. Yeah, that's neat.
So,
do you bowl with it, or is it just
collectible? It's just to collect.
That's nice. So, that's cool.
But like I said, there's random stuff like that, and then you get to common stuff to really peculiar stuff like air guitar strings.
Nice.
So it's stupid, but like I said, I'm a collector. I gotta have it.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's funny. That's awesome. Well, KISS really set the standard for merchandising for bands. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They weren't doing a lot of that back in the day when they first started coming out, and you used to get cool stuff with the KISS albums.
Yes.
I remember when Rock and Roll Over came out, you get like stickers with it. Love Gun came out. There was a little cardboard like gun thing in there. And they used to give you some kind of cool little things like that. But now they have their merchandising on everything.
Yeah, they're pretty much digging themselves into anything they can stick their name in right now. And like I said, now with KISS is on the end of the road tour, so they're gonna be finishing very soon. So it's kind of like what's gonna happen in the future with KISS collecting. They're gonna still continue it, or I'm pretty sure it's still gonna continue, but it's just how is it gonna be, because Gene and Paul, like I said, they're already up there and they're gonna stop. So
there's a lot of debate on that. What's going to happen? Before I get into that though, how many times have you seen KISS? Have you seen them a few times?
Oh yeah, I've seen about 15, 16 times already. Yeah, I've seen it from the reunion tour to pretty much to now. And like I said, I've seen Ace, all of Paul's solos tours also too as well. But yeah, I've seen about 15, 16 times already.
Excellent. Yeah, I got to see him way back in '78 when they came here to Buffalo. That was amazing show. I was like 9 years old, and it was like that was it. It's all over for me. This is what I want to get into. This is what I want to do. My whole room was plastered with KISS pictures from then on for a long time. But
Perfect timing too. Prime of their years. too.
oh, they were all over the place back in
Yeah.
the 70s, man. It was just
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, that's been a big debate for, I think, for KISS fans. Like, what's going to happen for them next? Are they gonna kind of do like a Blue Man Group where you just have different people coming in and just
Yeah.
play the parts of the different, characters? Are
You-
they
you-
gonna
you-
hand it down maybe to that? His son could come in and do some
Yeah.
stuff. I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. Or the other thing that we were talking about is they could do, like, they could have KISS bands all over the place, just
Well,
touring under them.
you see that now with the merchandise now. If you look at the merchandise recent, they don't put their names in the items. And now it's all strictly Spaceman, Catman, Demon, Starchild. So they kind of keep it that way. So I look at it as in the future, they're going to kind of go like the Marvel route, where anybody could be the demon. As long as it's a demon with the makeup and everything else, you're the demon. It doesn't
Right.
matter who the person's going to be. And that's how I think the future is going to be with the band down the road. It's like I
Yeah.
said, there's still going to be KISS with the four main characters, but the members could be controversial.
Yeah,
Like
I think that's definitely the way to go for them, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to work out good, but you never know. Like I said, but you see a lot of bands now where there's no original members in the band. They're still kicking around and playing. So
Yeah,
this is a big name that they could probably pull it off.
yeah. I mean, when these guys first came out, they had such terrible reviews. No one said they were going to have any longevity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they struggled through the 80s. That was a tough time to be a KISS fan, They still had some good music coming out and some great tunes, but it just wasn't the same. It just didn't have the same energy and the same vibe until they got back to, what made them big, and they realized, this is what we're known for. This is what the people want. Let's give the people what they want.
Yeah.
And then they brought the original members back and people went crazy,
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they needed it too, because like I said, that time in 95, 94, KISS was playing, like I said, after the Revenge tour, they were playing little small venues. And like I said, they had a bed, and Ace and Peter, they were still playing small venues. So they needed a big catch. And that MTV plug, like I said, this really took them to stardom to where they're at right now, where it just rebounced the KISS fans all over the whole world. So that was a big night.
Yeah, and
It
for a
changed my life.
while they had a lot of split reviews when they brought in Tommy Thayer when Ace left. Tommy Thayer being his like guitar tech.
Yeah.
And he stepped into the persona of the spaceman. Playing. I'm sure that didn't sit so great with Ace for a while, but him and Peter both signed away their rights.
Yeah.
For those characters.
Yeah, like I said, easy cash grab for them and everything else, but. Like I said, Tommy, he's been in the band, he's been associated with the band since like the 80s. So he's been there forever. He's been writing songs with KISS since the 80s and late 90s as well. And like I said, Eric Singer, obviously, he's been there for so long. So Tommy and Eric right now, they already put their staple in being the longest members in the band.
Yeah. Yeah. I was reading that the other day. Yeah. That was kind of weird to think about that, but yeah, that's definitely the truth. And I think they're both great. I think it's a great fit for them. How they're doing. I've seen Ace do his solo stuff, and some of it I really enjoy.
Yeah.
He's on tour now with Alice Cooper doing that. And I think Peter Crest totally stepped back and he's not doing anything in music right now, but definitely left a great legacy. So what other cool stuff can you tease us with there and show us? Any other stuff that you got to
I gotta hear random KISS shower curtain.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen those. Destroyer, one of my favorite albums for sure. Yeah.
There's another one here that just came out pretty recently. Destroyer KISS Rum.
I saw that. I think that was like a month or so ago, right? Something like that, a month or two ago.
I got the Black Diamond as well too. And
I saw the Black Diamond stuff.
I ordered the Code Gin, that's supposed to be coming in very soon. So that's another one that's coming in. I have so much stuff. It's hard to even reach half the stuff I have in this room.
Do you have the Gene Simmons soda that he came out with a couple months ago?
Yes, I have a few. I have them somewhere around here.
Yep. So one of our local KISS tribute bands, Kiss This, was performing a show, and they were giving away some of the sodas before they started selling them. So I kept a couple of those just for the heck of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a lot of stuff back when I was younger, so I've tried to get some of my collectibles now and stuff. I was lucky enough to meet them one time back on the Revenge tour, and they were signing autographs at a local mall out here. So I got actually all four of their autographs
Oh wow.
on there, which was really nice. You know, that was kind of cool. That was a once in a lifetime type of thing. Now you could never get that. You could never
Yeah.
even get close to them. You know what I mean?
Without paying a fee.
Oh, an exorbitant fee. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
everything's a fee now.
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, you know, you could just stand in a line or something or wait behind a door or something. You know, now it's
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of dollars and you get maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
if that.
you get a photo, you get something, usually a photo or something signed, and then, you know,
Yeah.
it's on to the next person. But
That's why I kind of stay away from autographs like that, because like I said, it's nice, but as a collector, I like to keep the items in mint condition, kind of keep it put away. So I just focus my money on just buying the item, and then, like I said, the personal stuff. Yeah, I've met, like I said, I met Gene, I met Ace, I met Peter, I met a few of the guys. The only ones I haven't met from the original group is Paul. I haven't met him yet. I've seen him close up, but he was at an art gallery, and like I said, he was most focused on his art gallery stuff.
yeah, he kind of projects to be actually the most personable, at least, you know, public
That day he
facing
wasn't, but-
wise. Public facing wise, it seems that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But who knows for sure behind closed doors how things work. But so is it anything KISS that's coming out you're looking at, or are you into like the vinyl? Do you collect the vinyl too?
Yes,
and
I
stuff?
collect. I got the vinyl. Like I said, right now my collection is pretty much everything. Goes to music. That's why it's very hard for me, because I'm not a rich guy. So
Right.
everything KISS is pretty expensive right now, and they're coming out, always coming out with new stuff and pre-orders and everything else. So yeah, I'm into the vinyls, into the box sets that are coming out now. There's a lot of new stuff coming out that's gonna be really amazing, that I've heard that's gonna be really cool, that no one knows that's coming out. But like I said, it's the action figures, this everything. I collect pretty much every shirts.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
remember when
number thing.
when the first figures came out. I don't know if you have any of those from the 70s though, when
I
they
don't have
first
no
came
videos,
out.
Yeah.
So, and on the back of the package for those, they would had the guitars. You had to cut out the guitar, a little cardboard thing to set with your figure and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
those I know those are real collectible and hard to find in
Yeah.
good shape
Yeah.
for sure.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Yeah, a couple $100 at least for
Yeah.
each one if they're in good shape. If they're in package, it would be even
Yeah.
it would
That's the
be
reason why I haven't
crazy.
got so much, because like I said, just for 170 items, you could buy like quite a few newer stuff. So that's why
That's true.
a lot of people complain that why you don't get a lot of the coin 70 stuff, is because, like I said, a KISS lunchbox is going for like $300 or $400. For $400, I could buy a couple of shirts, I could buy a couple of items, and the money will last a little longer. And like I said, and a lot of those boxes are pretty cheaply made, and you have to realize that in the 70s, people actually used the stuff.
Right.
Not like now, where collecting now is like, okay, I'm going to buy it, but I'm not going to open it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
dispose of it.
I was watching something on the metal lunchboxes the other day because that's what I had when I was a kid. But so yeah, they only make the metal ones now for collectors. You know, the
Yeah.
regular lunchboxes for kids are either the plastic or the bag type of thing. That's all. The
Yeah.
metal ones are just they're smaller, and you don't
Yeah.
get the little thermos like the collectible one. If you get the old collectible one, it's worth a little bit more with the thermos if you can get that. Usually you can't find that. That's the hard thing.
Yeah, they're really, really hard to find. Yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot of cool stuff that KISS puts out, and like I said, right now it's just if you have the money for it, because there's a lot of in the KISS world right now, collecting wise, it's like a little mix of Facebook groups and people who want to buy and price gouging, and it's,
Yeah.
like I said, it's a really scary. It's fun. Like I said, I love that a lot of people are KISS collecting and everything else, but lately there's a lot of KISS collectors going in for the wrong way. They're looking for the cash grab.
Yeah,
Making
yeah.
collecting very hard.
Yeah, and you're not, and I would think, I mean, I don't know, I would think you're not going to get that unless, like you said, you get the real old items, you know, to make that kind of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those big old collectibles, and unfortunately, they're not going to be worth that, you know, forever. You know, you have to find your. I was a collector myself of different things, and unfortunately, your collection is only worth as much as the people that are willing to pay for it. I come to find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you think you have a unique thing.
Yeah.
You know, but if you can't find anybody to buy that, it's not worth a lot of money, unfortunately.
It's not worth it. That's why I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for myself. It makes me happy. I'm a KISS fan, so this is like an accomplishment for me to have all this stuff and always like I said, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't do all the crazy stuff. So my money just goes on KISS merchandise, and like I said, that's my hobby, and it's something that makes me happy, and I'm just why stop doing something that makes me happy.
Sure. Yeah. So I assume you sell and trade with a lot of the groups online and stuff like that, or
not really. I'm pretty much a hoarder when it comes to that stuff. I have like
mine.
I have like multiples of like one thing and couples of these and stuff like that. And like, hey George, you got 3 of those. Sell me one. No. I have
I
three
used
now.
I used to be, like I said, I was a collector in a different genre, but so you would usually have one in a box that you put away,
Yeah.
right? And then you have one that you want to maybe display.
Yeah.
Or sometimes if it's a really cool thing, you have two in a box put away and one to display, depending on. That's probably, I'm assuming that's kind of what you're thinking, no?
Yeah, like I said, with me, like I'll have three. I'm like, no, I'll keep them all mint condition. And I'll have three sealed ones. So I'm go the other route like that. But down the road, who knows? Maybe, like I said, if I need some extra cash, I'll at least have some extras to sell. But right now, like I said, right now the market is so different right now with people just trying to see what they can get something for the top buck.
Right.
And like I said, and right now, I'm against ripping off other KISS collectors, and that's what's going on right now. Is other KISS collectors ripping off other KISS collectors.
Yeah.
You can see an item, like I said, like the shower curtain. I
Right.
paid about $30 for that stuff, and right now they go in the Facebook group and sell it 50, and then one guy buys it 50, and then he goes to his Facebook group and sells it for $100.
Yeah, I would figure like 20 or $30 for that would be the price.
But the thing is that they're ripping people off by increasing. So now that shower curtain becomes a crazy amount of money, and then they come to me and say, "Hey George, I spent $150 on this." Like, why? It didn't cost like $30. So it's weird. It's a weird time right now when it comes to collecting, because you have to know when to buy it, when to buy it.
Do they have a guide for the KISS stuff? I know certain different stuff they would have come up with guides.
I have, like I said, I have my website. It has like the different stuff where you can see stuff that I've purchased, and I have like you can see if it's official and everything else. I have a friend, Nicholas, who has a website, everythingkiss.com, which is a cool website. It's like a Wikipedia of KISS merch. You can see,
but they don't have like an official KISS collecting book that shows you prices and stuff.
No, they have a couple like unofficial ones like that, but that they're so outdated that you can't really go by it. You have to pretty much go on. Yeah, you have to go like I said, just go by word of mouth or on eBay pretty much right now to see what things. And like I said, things fluctuate in prices depending on the demand of how many people want it. So right now it could be hot, and then in a few weeks it could be, I don't want it. We got too many of these. Let's sell it for half the price.
Yeah.
Good example, like I said, a good example like these. See if I can grab it here. The KISS Funko ones that came out from Walmart a while ago, and these were like I think $60 online, and then after they were sold out, they were going for like about 150 to $200 a pop, and sold out. You couldn't get them anywhere. Now people bought them so much, and they're so high expensive to the point where now all these collectors have them. They want to sell them, and now you can get it for like $50 now. Yeah. So it's just a matter of demand and who wants it and who's going to buy it. So it's like I said, it's a crazy time.
Yeah, the things I was looking for as I really started to like was they have the 3D art album. So my son got me an Ozzy one for Christmas, the 3D art one, but I wanted to get like the Destroyer one. That's like my favorite album. So that's what I'm probably gonna pick up next. Do you have any of those? Do you have any of the 3D? Model stands that come out, they got like it's a display, it's on a stand. You have any of those yet? I
think I do. I gotta look into, like I said, I have so much stuff I didn't know where I have like that. I know there's different that I'm not sure if I have them.
Okay. Well, let's take a quick peek and see what else you got there, and then we'll wrap things up with you. I'm sure you got other stuff going on today.
I have a really cool thing, Vinnie Vincent thing from a KISS thing. It's pretty cool. Let me see if I grab it real quick.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Vinnie Vincent, his time wasn't that long in the band, really, but he had a very unique character. Was it the Unk character they kind of called him that it was?
Yeah, it was an Unk character like that. Like I said, he's not much of a favorite member now, back then, but like I said, but it's a very cool piece because KISS in the early 2000s they made a KISS World store, and it was supposed to be a big thing that they were supposed to do, and it's never really went anywhere. But a lot of the merchandise that came out with it came out pretty rare and everything else.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This was one of the stuff that they had. It was like a 8x10s.
Oh, that's really nice to display, man. You should have that up displayed. You're probably running out of wall.
I have no wall space. No wall space.
Do you have that? Yeah, probably. I hear you.
I'm on the road to see if I could get a house soon and just load the house up with this stuff.
Yeah.
Everything now and stuck in one room right now. So,
yeah.
Like I said, it's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. So Vinny's history after leaving KISS, kind of strange. He had the solo projects and things going on. Within the last couple of years, he was he was really kind of a hermit and really didn't do much. And then all of a sudden, like 3 or 4 years ago, he was supposed to come back out and do a project and put some stuff together. And actually one of the folks here from Buffalo, Jimmy Green, was going to be singing lead for him in his band. And all of a sudden, you know, they put the kibosh on it. I don't know what happened and why Vinny stopped it or whatever. And now I hear like this past week, he's talking about putting out a new album.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how that's gonna be because I don't think anybody's even heard him tune a guitar string.
Yeah,
So
it's
I did meet him a while ago when he started doing the conventions. I
yeah,
didn't meet him. Nice guy, very personable, like that. His merch was very expensive. I mean, this for one item was like $75 and above.
yeah,
I couldn't get anything, but like I said, he was very nice, very personable. A lot of rules to meet him, but like I said, it was very cool.
yeah,
But I heard that event that when he was there, it was very not good. Not
yeah.
good at all. So that's why he got kicked out of a lot of these conventions because of his actions afterwards. And like I say, he's always looking for the quick buck also.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be the easiest person to work with.
No.
And I mean, in this age as it is, a lot of the artists, the only way they can make money now is off merch. So they're trying to push their merch like crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if you even have a smaller group of people that you're only catering to, you know, they're going to try to charge more. But yeah, that's really tough situation. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but we'll see. Things can change.
Yeah, it's like I said, he needs to, like I said, if he would be more personable and knock it down and make it more acceptable to buy, then $100, $150 to a couple $1,000 for something that KISS doesn't even charge that.
Yeah,
And it's like I said, it gets to a point where it leaves a bad taste. To a point where like I'm not gonna buy that stuff. But that was, like I said, I had that because that was a really cool thing. And like I said, back then Vinny stuff was kind of rare and collectible to get because you couldn't get his autograph anywhere.
right.
So I thought that was a unique item, especially because it's kind of KISS item, but
Yeah, and Gene's tried to get them into so many different areas too. I remember a couple years ago they got a football team they were doing.
Yeah, LA KISS, yeah,
LA KISS, and they tried doing that for a while, and then they
they did the venture with that. Now they got that. They got the Rock and Brews right now, so too.
Rock and Brews. Yep.
That's pretty good, like I said. So I went to a couple of those, and some are doing pretty good like that. They're still sticking around. I know some closed, but I heard they're going to open a casino very soon in Mississippi.
Oh yeah, that I didn't hear about yet. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah.
So
and obviously they do the KISS cruises all the time. They have that going on.
Supposedly it's supposed to be the last one. So like I sadd, that's another one I would love to go, but this is way too expensive to go. It's just too expensive. If I go to that, it's gonna take over my budget of buying KISS stuff for a long while. So,
yeah. We want to try to make it to at least a rock cruise sometime. Myself and my girlfriend. Alice Cooper does a great looking one. He has all kinds of cool bands and stuff.
Yeah.
We'd love to jump on his sometime in the future, maybe, or do it at least once and try it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I heard it a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Like that.
So what is the item you're looking for now, or you can't find, or your next thing?
I'm trying to get a KISS pinball machine.
Oh yes,
I know
the old one,
or
the old one.
I like to get the old one, like especially.
Oh, that's my dream collectible, man. The old KISS pinball machine is my dream collectible.
Like
but,
I said,
you know,
I don't know where to put it, but I just
probably
have one.
Probably beat up. It's probably worth like $800 beat up or something.
Yeah, it's. I seen them go for like 2,000 to probably 10,000, depending on how the condition or if it's refurbished or what. But yeah, like I said, it's something that I just have to have. I see collectors that have it, and I just want that in my room.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'll settle for the little teeny small one that lights up. I would settle for that, but yeah, I would love to. And I know the parts for that. Like if you got to buy extra parts, it's tons of money too. If you like fix it or something.
Yeah,
but
it's not cheap. But like I said, I think it's something that it'll make a collection like, wow, you have a pinball machine that really stands out, and that's something I really like to have one day. I know I probably will, but one day.
Yeah, be in the right place at the right time, and
exactly,
and have the cash. Yeah, or you might find one you might have to work on a little bit and fix a little bit or something maybe too.
Yeah,
but
exactly, I would tell anybody who's a KISS collector, I always tell people be patient. Sometimes you want to get something, you have to rush and get it right away. Sometimes you're gonna find it and get it and it'll sell out, but down the road there's always something that someone's gonna sell it or they're gonna want to get rid of it and you get it for a good price. So I always thought that, like a lot of times I get items, I'll wait 10 years to get it. And like I said, I'm still getting stuff from 97, 98, and that I'm still trying to get right now. And like I said, that's years ago. But it's just a matter of what you're looking for and want to get. So right now for me, it's hard because I'm still getting those 90 stuff, some of the 70 stuff, and some new stuff now. And just right now, it's hot right now. There's a lot of new stuff coming out, and you gotta have money for it.
They have so many licenses going. It looks, it
Yeah.
looks like you're running out of room in that
Oh, I'm
room
running out of
there.
room. Yeah, I just inherited a collection a while ago, and I have another one. I'm gonna buy some stuff from Australia, some new stuff from over there. Have another guide I'm gonna get, and maybe get some cool solo stuff from other members like that. So like I said, I'm always trying to get some new stuff to expand and make my collection a little more spruceful and really cool. So I'm
Well,
really proud of myself.
it looks amazing, man. You got some excellent stuff there. It's so cool. I really appreciate you, taking time and showing
Not
us
a
all
problem.
that and talking about KISS and being on the show, man.
Yeah, no problem.
So excellent. Wish you the best and getting that stuff. And hope you get that house soon, man, because it
Yeah,
looks
I'm
like you're
working
gonna
on it.
need it, man.
I need it real bad because I have a lot of cool stuff that I like to really show off. And I got them in totes and boxes. And like I said, you can see it's a full room full of stuff.
Yeah. I
And I
just
still
cleaned
got the
out some
cold wall
totes. Yeah, I just cleaned out some totes myself to get rid of some stuff. But yeah, or if you move a couple times, that stuff gets.
Yeah.
You have to figure out really if you want it or not after that. But
Yeah. It's a mission, but I love it. It's fun. It's a fun hobby.
yes, definitely. And they're a great band, and you're never going to run out of stuff from them for sure.
Nope.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, George. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on this special collector's episode of Talking About Rock. We appreciate it. And if you folks out there want to know more about us, or you have questions or comments, please feel free to email us at talkingaboutrock@gmail.com. Please like us and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel for this and other upcoming interviews. George, man, awesome collection, dude. Really appreciate you showing that to us, man.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
All right, man. Have a great day.